Hi guys, Raven Song here. Bright and sunny morning. Been wanting to do this video for a long time, but life gets in the way. And just a quick tour of my gardening prospects and improvements we're making around the house with my kids' help. Kind of doing some things that have been needing to be done for a long time, and it's going to happen now since a lot of things are not going to happen on our property in Chandler that we had planned on originally due to circumstances, as you well know. Anyways, I thought I'd start with what I started gardening in February. I started planting seeds early, which I've never done before, and then I'm going to, and got them hardened out onto the outdoors, so I'm getting ready to start planting them in the ground. So let me turn this around and I'll show you around. So this is my deck. I'm so excited. I love my deck. Invested in that a few years ago. Over here I started these from seeds. These are my oh my god, now I'm gonna draw a blank. I've got moonflowers and I know what it is. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, it's just beautiful, edible, and dyeable orange and red flowers will be coming off of that. God, I wish I could remember the name. Planted a lot of basil. I planted some rosemary, which is taking a very long time to get going. And I planted some chamomile, and I ended up with one plant. I'm not sure what else is in that pot, but it must have been carryover seeds from other things. I still have some datura, possible moonflowers growing in there. Got a lot of coreopsis going. Again, dying edible flowers. And then my mandrake. I actually have a mandrake growing. He might be getting a little bit too much sun right now. I may have to ditch him underneath something to shade him a little bit. But most of these are going to go out. I'm not sure about the basil. Basil might end up being gifted out, and because I have a hard time keeping herbs alive, especially delicate ones that need lots of water. And I do like it for cooking, but I don't do a lot of basil cooking. My biggest thing is caprese toast. Oh my god, I love that stuff. It's a toast with olive oil, balsamic vinegar, mozzarella cheese, and tomatoes and basil. Yum, 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 all toasted up. Anyways, so over here I've got my sweetgrass. I ordered these in and planted them, and they seem to be doing pretty good. I'm going to keep them in the pots and hopefully winter them over well too. We'll see what happens. I do have a couple cannabis plants because I make salves and oils with it. Over here, these are my main pots that for decoration that I do moonflowers and marigolds in, and they're all coming up really nice. And again, I've got 3 of these up here on this deck. 4 of them actually. Yeah. And they transferred in really well from the little pots. And as soon as you get going, I need to bring the hose up here so that I can do regular watering more easily again. Let me just unlock this gate. My gate is ancient, and the grandkids have completely broken it out now because, well, plastic doesn't last long in Colorado. Colorado is really actually a very dry and arid state, and usually by now we are completely brown by June. May is our only green month, and it has been a real long spring and gotten lots and lots of water. It's been pretty incredible, so enjoy the green while we can because it won't last very long. Over here is the beginning of my front yard, but over here I've got horseradish growing, which is awesome. I love to pull up the roots for that and pickle it and put it in jars and have it as backup for cocktail sauce and stuff like that. And then I've got rhubarb. This is where my rhubarb grows. I usually get 2 or 3, well, usually 2 harvests of rhubarb a year, which is really nice. Now the yard is kind of a mess still, but we are working on cleaning things up. But my kids have to come out and help me. And there's one more rhubarb plant under the stairs there. Oh, look at that. Big fat toad. Look at that. Big fat toady. Oh, I love that. Hey, Mr. Toad. Are you the one that's been chirping underneath my window lately? Huh? How cool. Anyways, yeah, so we got a lot of mess going on around here. And the kids need to help me clean it up. But they're also working on this. This is my chicken barn. And we're going to turn it into, make it look like a she shack. My son's going to build a front porch on it. And I'm going to hang fairy lights. And actually I have a chandelier. And I want to put a whiskey barrel table and chairs. And lots of flowers. Flower pots and stuff like that. But yeah, we had to rebuild the chicken barn because it was pretty much an eyesore. We had 3 chickens in it, and this year we suddenly went from 3 chickens to like 32 chickens. So we got chickens coming out our ears right now. Not sure why. They're pretty though. 10 of them will probably still end up going to Aurora with my son, and there were supposed to be another 4 eventually going to my daughters, but I have a feeling we're going to end up stuck with them. So I'm not sure why we had to go from 3 to 20 some chickens. It's a little crazy. This is a beautiful one. I don't know what that is, but that's a pretty chicken. I like her. She's cool. She's cool. I guess they aren't camera shy. They decided they want to all come out. See what I'm doing. So I'm focusing more on the caging than anything. So a lot of cleanup needs to happen. There's a lot of debris from the old structure. Oh my gosh, the grasshopper's going to be crazy again this year, it looks like. That kind of sucks. They ate everything down to the ground last year. And I don't spray, I don't do any of that stuff. And, oh my God, we lost everything. I mean, it was just disgusting how bad. Anyways, while I was waiting to do this video, we had put in 5 fruit trees around my labyrinth here. And it was so pretty. And then we got hit by hail 4 times in one day. So my trees kind of got shot to hell. Poor things. This one's my peach. I got a cherry over here. That's my olive tree. I do a lot of hangings on this. Magic bags and things like that. Wishes. This is a cherry tree. This one I did opt in for a you might say GMO type thing. It's a grafted cherry tree, so I've got like 7 different cherries gonna grow on it. It was just the only nice one at the greenhouse when we went to go buy. All the other cherries look pretty ill. This one got wiped out the most, but she's getting some leaves back. This is the plum. My labyrinth. I love my labyrinth. I had to come out here yesterday and weed whack before I could do this video too. This is bouncing back really nice. This is an apple tree. I put 2 apple trees at the entrance to the labyrinth. One on each side of the gateway. So that one's an apple tree too. This is my labyrinth. I came through here and weed whacked yesterday so that we could at least see it in the video. But yeah, this is my north marker with the bull horns. I don't think I'll walk you all the way through this, but let's get around at least the perimeter area. I need to blow this out. I think we're going to put in some rock on it because the carpeting that I laid down as a weed barrier is starting to deteriorate and grass is coming through. So I think we're going to do some cleanup on that and put rock down. But this is my room view from to the north, which is nice when I do meditation or ceremony in here. Anyways, let's come out here. I did put up these beautiful bed posts for decoration. I need to get a few more to put up around, but I'm thinking with the trees, it might not be quite as vital to have those scrolly decorative things going. And this is my pond area. I built this years ago. We originally, I'm gonna have to duck down here. This thing got shortened since I put it up. But I put in this pond years ago, and it was actually a kiddie pool. I traded this gal like 2 cases of beer for this pond liner from the company she worked for. And the kids used it as a kiddie pool for a couple of years, and then as soon as they outgrew it and we put in a bigger one, which the bigger pool was where the labyrinth is now. That's what I converted. I converted that too once the kids outgrew that. Anyways, so I converted it into a little koi pond. It needs some cleanup right now. It's got the spring algae going. I need to get that cleared out. And I've got 5 fish in here, though they're hiding right now. I think they're mostly just goldfish left now, which seem to be pretty hardy. But yeah, there's my puck and my chimenea, a little table. This is an ancient pump that came from my grandparents' land in Jaroso, Colorado, down in the valley. About an hour away from our property in Chama, New Mexico, which is actually where my great-great-grandfather was born. And my aunt gave me that when they sold their house and moved to Las Vegas. They couldn't take it with them. And now they're back in Colorado, but they're also getting older and don't have a home anymore. So I'm glad I took it. I'm glad it's still in the family. So this is what it looks like from here. So we're trying to clean this up and make it look much more nice to look at. I want to enclose underneath the deck. I don't want to show you too much of that because it is an absolute disaster. It's become a furniture graveyard, so we have to get a roll-off, trash roll-off, and start pitching some of this stuff because it's just, yeah, gotten out of hand. And then I've got this used to be my altar for outdoor ceremony with the girls, and it had a log in it, and the log pretty much, in fact it was that one over there, disintegrated. So I built the pentagram instead out of bricks and dirt. I think I'm going to plant the coreopsis in here. I've been thinking about that since I weed whacked yesterday. I need to dig out that little bit of grass And I think I'm going to plant those coreopsis plants that I've got going. And I'll be able to water that while I'm watering the deck plants. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. That should be beautiful with all the yellow flowers that will produce. There might be some reds in there too when I think about it, in those coreopsis seedlings. Anyways, so this is where my backyard ends. And let's go up here. There's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done. Things that are going to be end up in that dumpster. And then we need to mow. Yeah, even though we got that hail, we got tons of rain, and everything has just been so green, and the grass has just gotten so tall. It's kind of crazy. This is the front yard of the house. My two parents gave us a bunch of these trees, and my mom kept insisting that they were apple trees. They aren't apple trees. I'm not sure what they are, but they are definitely not apple trees. And so we've had to do some readjusting of what we want growing. And like I said, I broke down and bought a bunch of fruit trees this year. That's my elder bush. Poor thing. Like I said, everything got hit. We got hit 4 times in one day with hail, so pretty messed up. This used to be my husband's weed garden. A couple years ago I decided I'm tired of the weeds, and I cleaned it up and put in some bark and transferred all my irises, my beautiful bearded irises, one of my favorite flowers. But like I said, they got beat up pretty good here the last few weeks. I've got a couple rose bushes. That one's doing really, really good. This one's struggling a little. I might have to give it a dose of something to wake it up. Over here we have my son's memorial garden. It's the circle drive in front of the house. And lo and behold, the hawthorn tree here has suddenly decided that it's going to reproduce flowers after those hailstorms, because it flowered out beforehand, and you can see the bees flying around there. Oh, lovely bees. I'm glad I see bees. That's great. Anyways, yeah, it got wiped out pretty good, and then all of a sudden I noticed yesterday that they were, or day before yesterday, that the flowers are coming back out again. So this is where Nigel's ashes are. And this is a car that he was into cars and reproducing. You know, that's what he did, is he did fabrication for antique vehicles. But he had this he had bought and gave it to Christopher, my next son, and we ended up using it for his memorial garden here at the house. Anyways, it's a beautiful, beautiful little circle that I love, coming out and working on it here and there. I think I need to do some weeding in here. It used to be full of flowers, but out here the grass just takes over. It even chokes out your mint. You can't keep mint alive because of the amount of the way the grass grows. I mean, the prairie grass just goes nuts. Nuts. Over here on this side of the driveway, we'll start the other side of the house. I've got my oak and ash. So I've got oak, ash, and thorn, and apple. I'm trying to fill the place with as many sacred trees as I can. But I have to stick to ones that are viable here in Colorado, because like I said, it is a very arid state and deciduous trees struggle severely. So I have to find ones that, you know, you can get them going, but once they get going, you can leave them alone and they'll take over anyways. They'll take off on their own. So this is my lilac bush. We missed the flowers this year because, well, I think the hail wiped it out just as they were getting into full bloom. This is interesting over here. These are all lilac bushes along here, but these ones are like wiped out, and the branches are completely scraped. And during the freeze this winter, I could have swore, this is like the kitchen window, and could have swore I heard freezing pipes. And I kept waiting for water to burst through it. It never happened. And my husband said, well, maybe the deer are brushing against the house. And I'm like, I completely shut down that idea. And then this spring, I came out and I noticed that these branches were stripped. And it's like, oh, I bet he was right. There was probably a deer up here scraping its antlers on those branches. And that's what that awful noise was I was hearing. Here's another one of those trees that we don't know what it is. Because my mama really didn't know what she was talking about. I'm gonna have to take a picture of the leaves and see if I can identify it. I think it's like dogwood or something like that. Nothing spectacular. My poor smoke bush over here on the circle. It was looking gorgeous before the hailstorm. Absolutely gorgeous. And now it's just shredded. I'm so sad. Anyways. But yeah, this is looking down on it, and I don't want to show you too much of under the deck. Like I said, it's pretty bad. I need to clean that up, and hopefully that will be getting done in the next month. Like I said, we're working on the chicken barn. Get that looking really nice and cute. I've got some great signage that says She Shack on it, so I'm really looking forward to that. Let me grab this hose while I'm at it out here. Take it up, and it's going to be adorable. It's going to be absolutely adorable, and I can't wait to get it done. Anyways, now I'm kind of just prattling on here. I guess I don't want to show you under the deck too much, but I do need to get this hose up here. I'm going to pause. Oops. I guess my video got cut off there. So I'm back up here in the front. And these are my planter boxes. I've got my sweet Veronicas, some feverfew. There's a lot of little seedlings coming up. It's either more feverfew because it tends to reseed itself. I don't know what this is. It looks like a larkspur or monkshood, but I don't remember planting monkshood here. I've planted it in other places, but if it is, I'll be excited if it's monkshood. That would be awesome. A little bit more sweet Veronicas. This is my chocolate mint, but that's all that's left after the grasshoppers decimated it. Not to mention the grass gets in here and chokes things out. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the sprinklers on the Nigel's garden for a few minutes. And the daylilies. I can't get rid of these things. I've dug them up and dug them up and dug them up, and they still keep coming back with full force. And we're back where we started, coming down the stairs. And the rhubarb plants. But oh my god, it's so green out here, and we don't see this. We don't see this time of year, and it is just beautiful. Absolutely loving it. Green is good. Green is good. By the end of this month, probably, we're going to start going brown, and then we'll be brown through the winter. But we'll keep as much green growing as we can. My goofy dog. Noisy. Noisy. Noisy, noisy. There's Fallon behind her, if you can kind of see him through the door. He's quiet for the most part. He's our escape artist, though. Anyways, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see if I post it or not. Bye-bye. See you on the tube.